So I might have mentioned this before, but I am highly distractible. I am super positive a lot of you can relate. So that's why I share all this stuff with you, all the good, the bad, the ugly, the usually pretty ugly and scattered stories of me writing and what it takes for me to get things done. So we're on week 2 of Camp NaNo for July 2022, and I've learned things. I've learned that my life does not fit to a schedule because no matter how I try to plan it all out, either I get distracted and it all crumbles apart, or just little things pepper my life and I'm just running off, kind of putting out fires. Not like deathly urgent fires, but urgent nonetheless. They have to be handled right now. Right now, even though no one is really in peril, they have to be answered, helped, whatever right now. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I mean, I have kids. I've already mentioned the puppy, which is absorbing way more of my time than I expected. It's a delight, but it's still taking up way more of my time than I expected it to do. And let me show you the thing that has saved me. Has been saving me, okay? Because even though I haven't been on everyday vlogging, which that's another thing I learned, is I am not good at vlogging. I do not remember to sit down and have a conversation with you. And I don't always remember to shoot my day-to-day living because I'm so busy living it and I'm so distractible that I'm just running around like a crazy person. But the thing that has saved me is this little keyboard. It was like $25 on Amazon. It's a Bluetooth keyboard. It hooks up to my phone so I can sit outside, and when the dog, when the baby puppy is done kind of needing training, or you know how it is. Sometimes you have to watch them all the time because they're eating absolutely everything. And then other times they mellow out and they're just exploring and you can keep your eye on them, but you don't have to like hawk guard them. When she hits those moments, I just pull this out, set it on my lap on my porch swing, hook it up to my phone, and I'm typing away. And it's actually done a lot of things for me that I didn't realize I needed help with. And that is often because I'm watching the dog at the same time, which I know kind of is impossible, but I'm watching the dog at the same time. I can type without looking at my phone. So I get it all set up. I make sure the cursor is in the right spot. And that's usually what I'm checking for, is I just glance to make sure the letters, not actually the individual letters, but to make sure there's typing taking place, because I have had software and accessories before where I've been typing and no words have been coming on the screen. And that is so overwhelming and so exhausting, especially when you've been on a roll, right? So I do check like from the corner of my eye to make sure there's actually movement on my Google Doc, and I just type away. And what has happened is I have been able to sit down pretty much every time I'm outside with a dog and score at least 250 words, usually more like 500. And actually, if I am not interrupted by the other dog coming out and fighting with the dog, I can get like 850 just from one time outside. That's amazing. That has saved me. I would have probably felt super overwhelmed and discouraged because I'm way behind where I wanted to be. I wanted to be, let's see, what is this? The 10th. I wanted to be, 10,000 words in at least, and I am so not. According to my goal tracker, I should have been 13,000 words in, and I'm not. I'm 7,000 words in, and that's after week 2. But it's still doable. It's still doable. And later I'll show you how I track my, my word count and how I know that it's still doable without having to do a whole bunch of crazy math, because that's just another thing to get distracted on, is the math. But a mom and a writer, my full-time job is being a mom, is taking care of the kids that live with me, taking care of my husband who, he can handle stuff himself, but there are some things that a mom and a wife do to encourage the family to keep going or to keep them connected, you know, keeping track of appointments for everybody, you know, all that kind of stuff. And those things shift and change, and I have to shift and change with them. Sometimes the urgency is as small as just dropping a kid off somewhere they need to be. Yeah, it takes time away, but the driving actually helps my brain process the scene I'm writing next and gives me like pictures of what I should be doing next in my story. I actually find a lot of the time my non-sitting down at the computer, plotting, writing, the best ones happen when I am either about to fall asleep, driving, or doing dishes. And that's when I get my best, oh yeah, I need to add that because that would make it, you know, this whole scene much better. And that would be totally something that Penny or Lydia would do. Yeah, so driving is not an issue. Yes, it takes time. It takes time away from actually sitting down. And then when I get home, I got to do the whole dog routine again and all that kind of stuff. So it does eat away at the time I do have. But that's easy. Then there's other things that take a little bit more time, like helping out a parent, going to a doctor's appointment. Those are all things I've had to do this week that I didn't necessarily know I needed to do until the day before, sometimes even like just an hour before I needed to go do them. I don't begrudge any of them. I am blessed to be able to do all of this stuff. And for the most part, I'm grateful to be able to do these things. But it does take away at time. And again, it throws a wrench in whatever I've planned to do that day already. So let's say I planned the dog takes scheduled naps, like she really does. So I'm sticker. I know she needs to lay down in her bed at this time, and I get to close off the area so I know she's safe. I don't need to be hovering. But let's say she takes a nap from 2 to 4 or 2 to 3:30 or whatever. Okay. I might budget writing in that time, but also within that time comes like just the mundane stuff, which you all understand, like doing dishes, changing laundry, cleaning the house. But also comes all these little miniature urgent projects, dropping somebody off at this, checking an email for this. And yes, sometimes those are urgent. Sometimes they're urgent. I try really hard not to check my email before I write. But then I have people on like Discord and Twitter who are reaching out to me who I absolutely need to talk to when they talk to me or within the hour that they talk to me. Sometimes that's my own professional bend toward trying to get back to somebody, but a lot of the times it's projects that need to be answered or reconstructed at that moment. So there's normal life stuff. I mean, it's all normal life stuff. That's why I'm here. I'm showing you that in your normal life, even when it's crazy and you have to drop everything to run to take care of your family's sheep. Yes, that happens in my life. You can be thankful and grateful that you're able to go do that. You can enjoy the time you spend doing that. It does take away from your schedule, but you can still get it done. It just won't look like what you hoped it looked like. That's what I've learned from writing. And that's what I'm learning from vlogging. I really wanted to get on here and have a new vlog for you guys every other day. It's just not cutting it out. For one reason is, you can see I've put on a little bit of face for you guys, but not a whole lot. I haven't done my hair. I'm not a fixie person, but I do try to look a little bit more presentable most of the time for you guys. But if I'm running, chasing the dog, I'm going to look sweaty and dirty and my hair is going to be all crazy and I don't look cute in hats, so I can't just throw them on and like sit down and look awesome for you guys. That's real life. And so even just to get cleaned up enough to where I feel I look decently presentable takes time that takes away from writing. So having said that, you might catch me next week coming on in my pajamas, decent, modest, but like no face makeup, and my hair will just be sticking out mom style with like the Yoda ear hair, like, you know, right here frizzing out. Yeah, that happens. I might just come on and be raw and tell you how it is and just get to writing. I am planning some things to help me write a little bit more this week because I have a lot happening this week and I'm getting ready for like a tiny house party that I'm having. Well, it's actually not me. I'm helping somebody else host a little tiny house party. But I got to get my house clean for that. I am not a good housekeeper. So that means when something big like this happens, it's like all hands on deck, scrubbing everything, because I am if I'm just distractible with my work, I'm the same at what you see is how I am. on all things. I give everything as best as I can, my best. Some days I do not function at my best, but I try. I try to give everything my best shot. It doesn't mean I succeed all the time, and it doesn't mean my best matches what somebody else's best would be, or even what other people would consider like the basic, you got to have this, this, and this, or you're not a good wife. You got to have this, this, and this, or you're not a good writer, or you got to have this, this, and this, you're not a good mom. My best very seldom matches up with any of those things. And I've learned that I'm okay with that. Yeah, I do have like some kind of imposter syndrome all the time. Sometimes I think every writer does, every mom does, every person does, where you just feel like you don't cut it. You're not enough. And I know I'm not enough personally. That's why I have my faith. That's why I have God to step in and fill in those places where I'm weak and make them better and beautiful. And I rely heavily on that. But otherwise, I am doing my best and I am going to fall short most of the time, especially if you're comparing me to somebody else. So there's my spiel. If you are writing, if you're a mom, if you're a writer mom, whatever, and you're here and you've got projects where you're like, I'm going to get it done in this time, and you fail, it's okay. Take a breath, recalibrate, don't stop moving, just keep going. Even taking a break and thinking about how you can make it better next time is forward motion. It just doesn't seem like it because you might not have something you can show somebody. But reevaluating and slowing down it's not stopping. You're still growing. And that's important. You just keep growing. Anyway, I will now roll for you some of my driving around and craziness with the puppy and what my life has kind of looked like this week, minus the really ugly bits. And then I'll come back and show you how I track my word count in a way that doesn't make me have to do math, because I'm a writer, not a mathematician. All right, so let me show you what I use to keep track of my word count. It's going to take me a second because I'm going to share my screen with you. There will be some spoilers, but not really story related. You'll get to sneak peek at some stuff, which you might or might not like. We'll see. Here we go. We're going to share that with you. Yeah, there we go. So I'm on my Story Origin app. I love Story Origin app. Evan Gao is an awesome guy. I've got to speak with him. He actually helped me get set up, and he's amazing. Very kind-hearted. So what you can see here are my works in progress, okay, and the dates I want to finish. Again, I'm horrible at self-appointed goals. So these have all been recalibrated because this one, which is a Honey Pot prequel, if you're part of my Honey Pot mystery fans or readers, you will see that this date is July 30th. I probably won't get to that. That's for best case scenario if I got done with Twisted, which is the 7th book in the Penny series. Yes, there you go. Heads up notice. If I got done with it early and I just had some writing momentum, a lot of the times when I start writing, I kind of binge write. I get so excited about being part of the worlds that I'm creating that I can't stop. Of course I do. There comes a point where I stop eventually, but I like to binge write. And so that's another reason why sometimes the self-appointed goals don't work for me, is because I'll binge write. And I kind of feel like as long as my words are coming and they're forming good stories, that I probably shouldn't stop that creative process. So here we go. And you can see there's another one that I have another short planned for called Dazzled. And yeah, that's going to be due for me personally by September. We'll see what happens there. And you can see here on the Honey Pot this is how many words I have written already. This is how many my goal was set for, and this is the percentage I'm done with. Same thing with Twisted, which is what I'm working on right now. I have 7,200 words. I have 42,000 words planned, so I'm only 17% through. I should be much more of the way through this book. So I click on it. It loads, and it just brings me up basic stats. Goal, progress. Okay, so I'm going to show you how. Here's my daily count. First day, I did awesome. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, okay, okay. All right, progress toward my goal. I love this. All these charts really affirm me and excite me and encourage me to keep going. In fact, when Evan Gao showed me this part in Story Origin, I started writing the instant I was off the phone call with him because it inspired me, because it was so easy to track, and I love charts to see progress. I'm horrible at making charts, but when they're logged in like this, they feed me for some reason. They feed my creativity. They feed my drive. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so Twisted, words, when I started, description, penny number 7. I already told you that. And then I'm going to hit show table. And show table shows you, with the word count I provided, how many words I would need to get done a day in order to reach the goal of finishing that book. I love that. That's awesome. Except for, you see here, I didn't finish anything here or here. So I go to show current daily target, and it takes it up. It does this by itself. It takes it up from that 1335 to now I have to write 1657. This encourages me to come every day and at least put some words down, because if that ever got up to 3,000 words a day, I'd probably bomb my project because it would just be too much. And then over here, it also tracks the running totals that I should be at. So today, if I'm keeping this goal right here, if I keep it today, well, actually it's this goal right here. If I keep that today, I should have this many words before I go to bed tonight. Same thing with tomorrow. So if I do less, it'll bump up the word count, obviously, that I'll need to finish. And if I do more, the word count will automatically lower. And that's just like a reward within itself. I don't know if that's just me, but it is one of my favorite features of Story Origin. Story Origin is great for so many other things, and this is just a bonus perk. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how Evan Gao does it. He's amazing. He's like one step ahead of anything I could think to ask for. It's there. And that those word trackers, those goal trackers, you can do it to words, you can do it by pages, you can do it by chapters, which is amazing. And then so when I go in and start editing and revising, I will set Twisted again, and I will have however many chapters my goal is, and I will goal set by chapter for editing instead of by word, because I'm going to edit chapters as a whole, not split them up into individual thousands of words, right? So anyway, that was a sneak peek.